guys, hello and welcome to our team call today, the 5th of September. So it's the start of the month. Thought we'd talk a little bit about goal setting, breaking it down, taking it into a marketing plan, and really keeping up with the momentum of Team Cup month. You know, all the extra people that we've been speaking to, and not letting us go, right, okay, I've worked really hard, I'm going to stop now, or just kind of winging it through the month, or leaving our Success Club goal till the end of the month. So I wanted to start with writing down your September goal, okay? You don't need to write it really fast. If you're someone who writes it every morning, like myself, then you'll probably have it there. And write it down, and then later on, I want you to write it in the thread in the Aspire to Inspire page. So the thread where we put all our wins. I've noticed that not anybody is writing their goals in there anymore. So write them down on paper just now, and then be brave and put them in the comments of that post later on to hold yourself accountable. So we'll just take a couple of minutes for that. Okay, guys. So if you've not finished, don't worry. You can finish it later, or you can write it down while I'm speaking. But one of the important things is to share it in the team page, because it's great having your goals there, read them, rewrite them and all that kind of thing. But when you put them out in black and white in front of people, it makes you really hold yourself accountable to them. Okay, then you need to break it down. So for example, if your goal is Success Club 6, so helping 3 people over the month, then break that down and don't let it overwhelm you. And realistically, you really want to help one person within the next week, because once you're getting another weekend, where are we at? It will be the middle of the month. So you don't want to be scrambling about for Success Club in the last week of the month. So take some time over the next couple of days to break down your goals. Another one, like your earnings goal. If you, for example, want to earn £500 over the month, break that down into how much it would be per week. And Laura Miller actually did a really good post in the Business Builders tonight on how to earn residual income through not just packs, but different products that your customers and preferred customers can use as well. So I'll share that into the team page. So take some time to do that. Juliet, you just missed, we were writing down our September goal, and once it's written, you've to share it in the team page under the post that Menina does every month to hold yourself accountable. Okay. So then thinking about your goals. So obviously your goals are not just business goals, but for all intents and purposes of this evening, we're speaking about our business goals. So you then have to break down how you're going to, so we'll go back to that SC6 goal, 3 people, how you're going to hit that goal, okay? So how many connections are you going to make per day? So for every 10 connections, one of them could end up being a genuine connection. How many invites per day? So for every 10 invites, they say that approximately one person is going to say yes to some information. So how many connections and invites are you going to do per day or per week? If you're a weekly person, that's okay as well. But then don't let it get to a Friday and you've said, I'm going to make 100 connections this week, and you get to Friday and you've not made any yet. And you're like, oh God, how am I going to make 100 connections over the next 3 days? So if you are a weekly person, try and work out an average of how many that would be per day. And you know that if you don't do it every day, to make sure that you do it every second day. So always calculate that. So I would do that on a Sunday night. I sit and write down what my SC goal is for the week, how many people I want to connect with, how many people I want to follow, which is different. So for me, following is just following loads and loads of people. Connections is when I follow someone, like 3 posts, drop a comment, you know, like make more of a connection. And then how many invites approximately that I'm going to do per week. And if you don't exactly hit that, it's no big deal, but it gives you something to strive towards. Because let's face it, if we're only doing 2 invites a day over the month, we're going to really struggle to hit Success Club from that. So try and aim a little bit higher. Obviously, don't go so high that you're doing absolutely pointless invites, but find a little bit of a middle ground. Follow-ups. So they say the fortune in the follow-ups, and it's really strange because I used to hate inviting and now I don't mind inviting at all, but follow-ups genuinely give me the fear. So still do them, but just because somebody doesn't answer your follow-up the first time doesn't mean that they're not going to join you at all. So follow up, I would follow up 3 times probably quite quickly, one after the other, just in case they're super busy, they forgot to answer, you know, they just got up in the craziness of life. If there's 3 within a week, say for example, and they've read them all and they haven't answered, I back off a little and then potentially follow up with them the following month as more of an invite. So don't give up on somebody just because they don't answer your follow-up the first time. So, and eat that frog, just follow up, just invite and do the things. Okay, any questions so far?
No, this is really good, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I was ready for a question there. I was like, oh no, don't ask a question. Okay, so very briefly, marketing plan. Okay, so we're saying, oh, we need to do so many connections per day and we need to invite so many people, but what are you inviting them to? Okay, so we all know that I'm a little bit of an organized sort of person. So I like to do my plan on the last couple of days of the month. I have my plan roughly for the following month. Everything gets written in pencil, it can be changed, I'm not that weird. But you need to kind of have a plan what to invite to. And you need something every week. You don't want to really be inviting to the same thing all month, like blatantly inviting to the same thing all month, because then there's no urgency behind what you're inviting to. So for example, for me, last week I was invited to 30-day Shakeology challenge, which is still my sort of invites today and tomorrow. And then I move on to speaking about coaching. And then I have 80-day obsession mentorship, and then 80-day obsession prep week and 80-day obsession. That doesn't mean that this week I won't still potentially invite people to the Shakeology challenge, but I make sure I have a plan of what I'm blatantly inviting to in my posts and my stories. And make sure it's a mixture of the business and the fitness. So I know if you're a newer coach, you're maybe not actively recruiting coaches, but it doesn't mean that you can't go out to your upline and say, okay, I see that you're having a mentorship. Can I get a little bit involved? Can I invite some people? And if I get a yes, or when I get a yes, can I plug them into your mentorship? That's absolutely fine. And then if you're going to invite people to that mentorship, you have to at least be speaking about it in your stories or your posts, or you're going to invite somebody and they're going to go, what are you talking about? You know, I've not seen anything about that on your page. So make sure that your marketing planning, I'm getting on to the next topic. So first of all, set your marketing plan, have what you're inviting to for the month, and make sure like that you're having call to actions generally once or twice a week for these things, and that they include the business and the fitness, also include products. So Melanie Mitro showed us on a call a while back about sharing your link directly to Energize or Recover in your stories. So you know you've got that link in your stories. She says, and I've done it a few times, and somebody bought Energize from me this way, but if you go into the coach product directory in your coach office, put in your coach ID and then search Energize, you get a link, a referral link that goes straight. So if they buy Energize, it comes to you, and you can put that in your stories where you're having your Energize, and you could put try my magic juice or whatever you call it here. So you can do that as well. So don't just invite to Total Solution Packs, like obviously aim to hit your success club, but you can also be offering people to try other things, especially people who are already within your community, you know, send them out some samples or things like that. So that's your marketing plan. I hope that makes sense. Then once you've got your marketing plan, you need your posting plan. Okay, so I use the Make Chic Happen planner. It doesn't need to be as fancy as that, or I used to use the Rise Up planner. Can't remember if that had a bit for that, but now I use the Make Chic Happen planner, which has actually got a column for every day for what your post is going to be, what call to think or call to action you want in that post, and then what you're going to share to your stories. It's really good. But at the start of the month, it gives you boxes where you can put in what your post is going to be for every day. So the way that I do that with my posting plan is I've got my marketing plan of what I'm inviting to. I've got my 4 pillars of what I'm about. So my 4 pillars are obviously stay-at-home working mum with a husband who works offshore, 3 kids. So you've got your 4 pillars, and you kind of try and have your posts that include that. So you're attracting your avatar. So you can really recreate like kind of what your posts are going to be on a monthly basis, if that makes sense, using your 4 pillars. And I still use parts of what I did with Josh Coates, and I'm happy to share that with anybody in a message. But on a Tuesday, it's always product. On Mondays and Thursdays, I add value. On a Wednesday, I talk about the business. On a Friday, it's always some kind of transformation post. Sunday's always call to action. And Saturday is drip feeding about the business. So, and then I just kind of recreate that on a monthly basis. So you could do that as well, you know, and just use your 4 pillars that reach out to your people, and it saves a lot of work. So for example, you could do like, you were always going to share a recipe on a Thursday, or you were always going to share your workout on a Tuesday, or things like that. So it creates less work on a monthly basis because you're not thinking about your whole posting plan from scratch. So include, as much as I hate to say it, and it's a shame because I like doing still pictures, you should probably be doing at least 4 reels a week just to make yourself seen, just because that's what Instagram likes. Also try and find trending reels. So when you're scrolling through Reels, it'll come up trending audio because it's the newest audio. And a lot of them actually have guides on how to, like, you know, when they go through the pictures really quickly or whatever, you know, and it changes really quickly. You get Reel creators that write after how many seconds you should be changing every picture. And that makes it flow. Pamela, you know what I'm talking about because I've shared it with you. Juliet, happy to share with you. But yeah, so that's obviously getting you seen more, and you can still write your message that makes you within that.
All right, something happened.
Within that. So make sure you're trying to do 4 Reels a week if you can. I've seen a really good thing about Reels that somebody had put, if you save the videos into your phone first, you can use the same videos with different Reel audio in the background so that you don't need to start all over again. Or you can, if you save your audios, you can use the same audio with a different video. And that always saves time as well. So pictures, make sure you get at least a couple of still pictures in a week and try and get a live. I would say that lives probably aren't seen as much now. So maybe just once or twice a month, try and get a live in there. You can also talk on your own Reels. So I've done that twice last week and one of them got really good views. So if you've got something important to say and it's under 60 seconds, just say it in a Reel. And more people will see it than if you say it in a live, which, yeah. And make sure that your stories kind of flow with your posts, okay? Make sure that your stories flow with what you're inviting to. So don't just share your workout, don't just share your breakfast. If you're inviting to, hypothetically speaking, a mentorship starting next week, you need to drip feed the business into your stories every day in some way. Or the fitness is a lot easier because obviously we all share our workouts every day anyway. But obviously if you're inviting to, say you were starting to lift tomorrow on Monday, you would have to speak a bit in your stories about the benefits of weightlifting. Your posts would be about the benefits of weightlifting and building lean muscles and potentially telling women that they're not going to turn into the Hulk or things like that. So make sure that it all kind of coincides together because there's obviously 2 sides of your business. There's the front facing side that people are watching, and then there's this behind the scenes side where you're speaking to people, and if the 2 don't match, then people are just going to never, they won't answer you because they don't know what you're talking about. They're like, oh, she's inviting me to this coaching opportunity that I've never heard about. And that was me. Ellen's here just to finish.
Can I ask a quick question, Shona, about the follow-ups?
Yes.
So, see, if you've messaged somebody and you've spoken to them and they don't answer you back, so do you were saying you follow up with them 3 times, like if they've not spoken to you? So what are you seeing in the ones when they've not answered you back?
So I just send another follow-ups saying, oh,
like you're probably busy or something, or
no, I probably wouldn't say that. I'd just be like, oh, just dropping in again to see how you got on trying that workout. Don't worry if you haven't. There is the odd time when I have a day where I start sending people messages saying, oh my God, I hope I haven't offended you. Is everything okay? And that tends to get more answers.
Absolutely. And on that one, I was just going to say, sorry to interrupt. This is fab, Shona. Thank you. But I always used to feel really awkward about follow-ups, like the 3rd follow-up, like invite, 2nd follow-up. I call it a follow-up and then a third message, whatever you want to call it. So I would always just say, I can't remember what it was, like, tell me to buzz off if I'm annoying you. And 9 times out of 10, they're more likely to come back to you because you've sort of given them that get out of jail free card thing. And they normally just say, oh, just been really busy, sorry, you know, they apologize, don't they? It's like, it's a great way to get a response.
Definitely. And I think as well, if you do 3 follow-ups, potentially do one in the middle as a voice note.
Yeah,
because sometimes people find that more personal, they like it better. What I would say on follow-ups is if somebody's completely stopped watching my stories, I wouldn't then follow up with them the following month because they're not watching me. So I would only if I left it for a few weeks to follow up with them again, or a couple of weeks, it would be somebody who was still in, like at least watching my stories or liking my posts, rather than just disappeared off the face of the planet.
There's a few people that just didn't get back at all, but like they're religiously watching everything I put up. So just
Well, keep following up, just keep re-inviting, just maybe not, like maybe once a month or whatever.
Mhm.
And if they're watching your stories, watch their stories.
Mhm.
Or if they are, you know how when you're seeing who watched your stories, you can actually reply to you've got the little arrow, so you can, so that you reply to the story that they've watched. So for
Mhm.
example, if they've watched a story where you're eating chocolate cake, you could send a message and say, oh my God, but isn't chocolate cake so hard to resist? Because people will answer to things like that. Put polls in, people will, you know, like a poll that's nothing to do with fitness,
Yeah.
something to do with like how you should bring up your children or something, like, and they will then start to interact with you again. But if they're watching your stories, keep speaking to them, because I've had ladies that have watched me for over a year, and sorry, I'm waving to Sophia, and they have then signed up. So
Mhm. Okay.
sorry.
Can I ask about two things? What is the Shakeology challenge? Is it something I'm meant to know about, or is it blatantly obvious? It is what it says, you know, on the
Exactly
tin.
what it is. So it was something that had been mentioned in a diamond group that I was doing, and they shared a PDF. So it's basically something that they had recommended to get people to stick with their Shakeology, because they're drinking it, and rather than just leaving it in the bag. I kind of thought it would tie in with people needing to get back on track after the summer holidays. And so it's just a bod group. There's a challenge group guide in the coach office for Shakeology only. So, and yeah, I'm just going to do a prize draw at the end of the 30 days for people who've logged. And
So you're running a separate bod group for it, and have you've any of your clients that have it already? You've put in there as well.
if they've wanted to be, so I asked them if they want to be. So because obviously when they log their Shakeology, it logs to all their bod groups anyway. So I asked them to try not to log their workouts in there, so it didn't get over spammed. But yeah.
And how have you found the uptake for that?
I think I've got about 10 or 11 people.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Good. Cool. Thank you. And the other question, your Make Chic Happen planner, which I've been thinking about in a way, you'd wholeheartedly recommend it, would you?
Yeah, definitely. So it's got, as well, you get a little, it's not there, you get like a, you know how, have you got the Rise Up planner?
Yeah.
Right, so you know the bits for time block and everything. You get like a separate calendar thing for that, for a week for every year. But yeah, I really do recommend it, and you get access to some of her free materials when you get it as well.
Cool. So do you buy because she's got two products, do you buy both?
They come together.
Yeah, right. Okay, cool.
I got mine on Amazon.
Sorry?
I got mine on Amazon because she you can get cheaper delivery on Amazon than straight through the Make Chic.
Lovely, thank you very much. And would you do me a favour, please? Would you know the Josh Coates thing? This is how out the loop I am. Can you resend that schedule to me, please?
Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow.
Thank you.
Or I'll pop it up in the group.
Yes.
So much. It's been amazing. And sorry I was late.
Oh, you're fine. Sorry you missed it, Ellen. We've recorded it.
So I got late back from a late night PE shop. I thought I was all done and didn't realise I was out of white t-shirts that didn't have a black mark on it.
Oh.
So and I had one, but I thought